Every Thursday, 8 p.m., catch Daddy's Maybe on the HODP network featuring Smitty and Joshua Alexander. You don't want to miss it, 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 to miss it.
Trinidad and Tobago, welcome once again to Daddy's Maybe. It's your boy Smitty on the HODP network, all powered by Jiggles Entertainment. We are here once again for part 2 of Mr. Amigo's story. An amazing story that I don't even know if I'm capable of telling it all over again. But I'll try. We have on set, once again, Mr. Amigo, who is here for his results. So I had to ask the question. So, Mr. Amigo, you and I have had our conversations, dialogue throughout the weeks leading up to this and whatnot. First and foremost, how have you been?
Cool, by the grace of God.
By the grace of God.
Bless.
Excellent.
No complaint beyond that.
So what's been happening since we took the test? What has been going on with your life? What has been going on? How has things been with your son? What's the relationship like with this technically over your head?
After the results, that was the last time I spent with him.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Is that because of you? Is
No,
that because
I decided, I would just wait on the results and I would decide the daddy or be the maybe part.
The maybe part?
Yeah, the daddy's maybe. Yeah. But it would not a maybe, it would just be a daddy or nothing.
So you've decided now. You've told yourself, because we listened, and I'm quite sure you guys outside there did it as well. So we listened to the part where you were saying you're conflicted. You're two mind about the situation. If you're going, because you said you love them, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you love your son, but at the same time, your vibe, how you are, is just a cut and dip. If you don't want no stepfather role.
No, I can be a stepfather. I don't care about the judgment. God didn't make
Say it again, you can't be?
No, I can't be a stepfather. It's not a good role model to be a stepfather.
That's an interesting, very, very interesting statement. Explain that.
I can't take a paintbrush and do something what I don't want to do. So I could only do something what I want to do. And somebody else, a woman breed, they grow up rough, chatty with a father, never had a father figure. I don't have the time to waste all that time. Right now I give you my time, and next 10 years I could dead, God forbid that. But the time I give you, nothing could pay for that. This is one of the most important things I could give to you. So I can't take something and give to our next man's seed. I was nowhere wrong in the bed when that was taking place. So that enjoyment had to be the responsibility of the father alone, who's that father had to see about that. So the reason why I never went back and linked with the youth is because I really contemplate on this daddy's maybe thing. And I was saying, if the street is really not yours, I can stick up and be attached to something like them white people. Let's be they're crying on the TV and the Maury show. You can watch it like a kind of Maury flick and others like, bye. The fathers and I'm going to say, well, I still love the child. And I will still be there as my name.
You not on that?
No, if this is not my youth, this is not my youth. This girl forgot enough.
So that's actually a very good statement that you're making there, because some of our viewers, because people that send questions to us and whatever the case is, they wanted to know, because there's plenty things to unpack here. This is like luggage going on a Cal flight. I want to know if it is that it's not, and you say to yourself, I am not going to be around this woman at all. That love that you were talking about before, that's over with, right? You're not seeing yourself going back there ever at all, because that love you spoke about is a very, very deep love that not many persons, don't talking about Trinbagonians, that many persons have never really experienced before.
It's not a big love, man, but towards the youth, I don't think that will fade. But in the sense that a child mother and the child is not mine and you're running, you know, well, you so love this child. He had to get Pampers this week. He's school. Let's coming up thing. No, that no way in the world. No way in the world. You understand? House going down, you know, we never roof. No way in the world.
Wow. Those are very, very dread statements. Guys, I just want all you to understand something. You all might be passing judgments on whatever the case is in your mind, and that's fine. That's totally fine. Because at the end of the day, daddy's maybe is all about a father, and he is a father, coming and saying his piece. Regardless of what I might think, regardless of what you might think. Plain talk, bad manners, as I like to say. Life does just be life in. And this is his life. So if he feels as if he can't take that role and run with it, that's fine. It's better to be a man and come out and say what your truth is than to be pretending for anybody. Because at the end of the day, when you see he bends his knee or closes his eye and make a prayer, none of all there. He's talking to his own person, the Most High, whoever that may be for him. So we talk about if it's not yours. Excuse me, if the child is not yours. What about if he is? Look this smile, everybody. Look this smile, everybody. Nah, this is a father.
I don't feel so that way.
You can't see this smile, but I see this smile.
Nah, if the youth is my youth, to be honest, something, I might be able to make back with the mother, but the relationship will be a little different. Sex-based something, that wouldn't be possible because she's a crazy girl. As you touch, she ready to come by and pull down your window. So that part mightn't work out. Okay. But as a relationship with the youth, he would never have a problem as in the when you're seeing your father, like I just stay away from the last time we had a little interview.
Right.
It wouldn't be like that. I'll make sure he 100, and it will be with our principal too, because you know them red commanders be. I wouldn't call you individual name, but you call this week, and it's something to do with your nail and your foot and them kind of mad thing and your weave and them kind of clung thing. So I'll make sure the youth right up, but as to where you girl had handle she seen. All the men and them, you know them girl, I can get how much man. Them go just had to deal with the scene to suit themselves. And let you how much man who they can get, fix your nail, fix your hair, buy your clothes and do them kind of thing. But for the youth concern, I go deal with that now, boy. You understand? And the thing where I can't show no pity is this, right? Like, I started smoking Chatterbank and an old man had asked for a cigarette one day, right? And that unnecessary, but I will still share that story.
No, that's fine, right? That's fine.
So I asked him for a cigarette and he was like, hey, the man who teach you to smoke the cigarette, never teach you to buy the cigarette.
Wow.
And he had a control a little
device
thing to have he didn't use the word vice, but you know, they turn yourself into a beggar. And women always begging. Most of the women now, if you ask everybody, it could be Spanish, Ghanese, Jamaican, who Trinidadian, most of the women right now in Trinidad and Tobago begging. As you take the number, you know, I have some problem in town here on Good Street, the gas, the landlord, all the time how them was living. So I trying to think with that old man, because when that old man tell me about the man who teach you to smoke cigarette, never teach you to buy, I said, I never asked nobody for a cigarette again.
Wow.
That, I didn't take that and make it like a big pity thing. So I find most of them girls only begging. And I do all the time right now. It's very rare. It's like diamond to pick up a girl who's not begging right now.
Wow.
And you see, I see some ladies, she did call in and say, hey, he was saying, he was wrong and thing, but you see, I didn't explain my whole story too, because I was wrong in the sense that in the earlys I treated real plenty women kind of rough. You understand? But I was younger and I don't want to blame that on age and guidance of my father, because I now say, but I mean, not time with the pity thing. At a certain age, I believe you're supposed to grow up and be adult and hold the responsibility, because you know what you're doing on your sense. So
as you bring up the responsibility talk, let me ask you, let's go into it again. If he turns out to be your son,
he had no problem in the world. As the type of father who do anything to make sure my youth and them good.
So if she takes you to court,
it could never reach her.
Big words coming from Mr. Amigo. I won't lie.
As much as she could be angry, she could come in here vexed right now if we have a big falling out. One thing she will never do is come and say, hey, he's a worthless man to a teacher and nothing.
So that means, because if I'm not mistaken, it was which comes first, the chicken or the egg. So we were not signing any birth paper because we were undecided as to whether or not you were the child's father. So if you are you going to sign the birth paper?
If I'm the child father, I don't know if you want to make a next show, but next week Monday will be the time I will make time and take a whole day off, go down and Port of Spain where he born, sign the birth paper and bring it on the show and see the birth paper.
Well, you've heard it here live. You've heard it here. If he is the child's father, he's going to sign the birth paper and bring it right back for a follow-up, because we do have to have our follow-ups right here on Daddy's Maybe. Yeah? Jiggles Entertainment and HODP, we actually care about the people that come on, and these are, again, real people coming. Yeah? Let me say it again. Real people. Alright? So, again, I don't want to keep it too long. I just want to ask you probably one more question, and then I think we can get the results.
Yeah, that's the toughest thing I know.
I know it's tough, my brother. I know you're tough. And I know it's tough. And seeing that it is tough, are you willing? What do you think about therapy?
Therapy?
What do you think? Because I asked you this before, but I want to know, in this space, in this time, how you're feeling about therapy, for or against, if you are or not, how you're feeling about therapy being offered to you. And your child mom, if you think about it.
Maybe she might need a little therapy, but I don't need no therapy.
Even if the child is not yours, you don't think you would need any?
No, if the child is not mine, I don't need therapy. If the child is mine, I don't need therapy.
You sure?
Yeah.
Alright, guys. So, going to ask our producers.
You see, I cut it.
No, you ain't cut me at all. You go right ahead.
Sorry.
You go right ahead.
The therapy part, other part of me that I didn't know about, right? So, the first time I was like the type of person, like how this radio man was who beat up his wife. I can't remember the guy name.
Don't call him.
I used to be similar to that, getting good advice and thing. And then it reached a point where I nearly killed the same girl. So I went to him the next day and saying, dog, how you change that, boy? And real mad thing, I don't want to go into all that details because you don't know the Christian viewers. I don't want to say Christian, but the righteous who go in heaven and all are we going to burn in hell, or them just be talking.
You know, you said that on the previous show and I wanted to discuss it. When I say discuss it, I want to tell the viewers that some of you may be that he said something like that. But how many of you have been in a situation where you felt as if you just wanted to hurt somebody to feel better? I'm not saying it's alright. I am saying that emotions bring emotions, emotions bring actions, and sometimes those actions bring some type of feeling of hurt, some type of feeling of disappointment. And I believe that the fact that he is here, this is my humble opinion, the fact that he is here and he has not done anything to hurt anybody, he's just expressing himself, says something about this man's character. Because for one, many of us, including myself, have felt like they wanted to hurt somebody that never had the, I'll take Mr. B's words, the balls to do anything like that. And it takes a man with a certain level of testicular fortitude to have that in here, and I do nothing about it.
My first falling out, right, would have been when I needed therapy, because like I just get up in the night and I don't know what, some fella did make some video and talking about, hey girl, where you is? Right now my belly hurting in my head. But that night, my belly hurting for real. And I said, boy, something wrong. But when I go down by the apartment, it was a man down there. And I was not a violent man, right? I was a real helpful kind of man. But I think like my love and my violence is like two kind of brother and sister. So I just walk in the apartment, mash up the girl head, take these scissors and stab out the man. I don't want to call the station, but some of the officers know so. You know the police is in Trinidad is different. And walk out of that whole situation normal. And there's the next day I was thinking like, hey, well, you could do that with a girl and you have a daughter and all too. And judgmental people like this not time because here what is going. Once somebody know in this situation it's real good to give good advice because I just get real good advice, boy. Some people they sit down with me and cry and think, boy.
Well, boy.
Understand? But being in the situation, only then I realize none of your advice in your head. Because betrayal for me, everybody had a bridge across. But I can't take betrayal like normal, especially when I guarantee I do no wrong. Nah, it would have been easier if she had come out and do something like, but you know this is all going on, thing, the waste of time, the waste of money, right now you think because my time is something I real value.
You said that before.
So
let me dive into that real quick. So you know what you did was wrong, eh?
If I know what I did was wrong?
Yeah, you know what you did was wrong.
I know what I did was wrong and the laws passed on the land. Because if we're going into the religious people's views, God used to tell he prophet and bury them in a hole and lick out there the big stone and all kind of mad thing. So I just went and tell Tucci to stab behind a man and hit a girl and normal cup. But I didn't lick off the head until they're dead in the ground.
Okay, but here on Daddies, maybe even though we don't advocate for no
I acknowledge
violence.
and I appreciate the times we live in. This I did was wrong.
Oh,
But within my heart, right? If I acknowledge your law and the laws of the land, yes, I was wrong. But if I acknowledge my own law, betrayal, once I feel this is the way to do it, then I have a psychological problem and somebody had to come now to talk and press something in my hand to see what's going on. But I deal with betrayal how I feel to deal with betrayal.
So this is my humble view, listening to what you just said. My humble view is that there is some level of therapy that is needed for you so that you understand the difference, because you obviously understand the difference between your law and the laws of the land. But consolidating both of them to make sure that both of them on the same level so that you don't have a difference in what is good and bad in terms of that, in terms of violence. I think that there is some level of therapy that could happen, should happen, so that you have a balanced head space and don't always have to be, on that spectrum. I did want to ask one more question. I know it's always one more question, but your other children, I wanted to find out how they deal with your alleged son right now. How do they vibe with him, communicate with him? Do they have a relationship with him?
My other children is the children who I show is my children, right? So they don't know much about all that. Think they have an idea that maybe we have a little brother again, but it's not a fact to them.
So they've never met him?
They met him once when he was young. Under circumstances, it was, I can't explain it now. She did not know where to stay and I was to bring Siobhan to organize the next day to try to get an apartment. So that's the reason how they got to meet with them. But they know that they are my kids. You understand? And you see, we was talking about, I want to jump up your topic and thing with the therapy and thing.
No.
And before that whole act take place, I like to try to pray before I do anything or think before I do something.
Right.
But in that point, I didn't really have time to really think too much. So I started praying one time because I didn't know I could get so vexed so fast and thing. And then after, I can't remember where it is by, but I know I did skip the Bible page and them, right? And while skipping the Bible page, I did learn on David, and then after, I did just close it and I find that story is boring because I was just trying to, sometimes you're vehicle and you're listening to some music to cool down your vibes. So then that term, I just use the Bible and that because I wanted to find some kind of verse to cool down my brain. Like they say, like you need a therapy, but in that moment you just need it right there. So I was just using the Bible and I jump into something with David, and then I close it and open it and jump into something with Moses. And then after, when I was going down to the whole location before the whole scene play off, I was thinking in my brain something, and I think it's my brain confused that whole thing. So Moses would have been considered an Obeah man if somebody judged him from afar because he take a road and he part the sea and make locusts come on the land and all kind of clown thing. And then David would have been considered a murderer because he went to that sword and kill a bunch of people because he's saying some God talking to him and nobody else and he any God, but he hearing it through some Samuel prophet. You understand? And both of them was talking about the same God. So I think in my own brain at that moment, the only thought that came across my brain was, hey, all our we could serve one God, but we experience the want to be the same, so I don't want to get judged from this man. However, he judged me because the God who judged David would have been the same God Moses serving, but David could have called Moses a Obeah man and Moses could have called David a murderer. So I take my own experience into my own hand and live how I wanted to live because you not in my shoes, so however you see whatever I doing could be wrong or right in your eyes, but I don't know why I'm going through at the moment and what guided me is inside my brain, and I decided to go along with it. Because it's my brain now, boy.
I understand.
Right? So,
well, once again, we want to thank Mr. Amigo for coming out. I want to make something very clear to everyone that Daddy's Maybe, Jiggles Entertainment, and HODP do not advocate violence at all on any level. We just want to make that very clear because we don't want anyone to associate us promoting, since we are not chastising anyone here. We are simply saying that here is a space that anyone can speak and tell their truth, and we allow them to have that space as anybody would like. Just in our society, unfortunately, men don't have that space, and we've made one for men like Mr. Amigo to come and say their truth, and this is his truth. No judgment here.
But
having said that, yes, sir.
I'll have to cut you 1 second.
Sure.
It's not a matter of violence, but like if I was in the same, like if I had the same knowledge and mindset, like right now as I'm speaking to, all of that act would have never take place.
And we understand.
I was in a place where I don't want to consider myself immature, but like certain things I didn't know by, and what's going by is just how to get some things time to evolve yourself into something greater. I just didn't have that time to do all of that.
Mr. Amigo,
in the moment.
We understand. You don't need to explain that part. We understand. I may not agree with you, you know, but at the end of the day, you said it in your unique, eloquent way. It's in your mind. So if it's in your mind, I can't understand how you felt at that exact time. I can tell you by the laws of the land and in some level of morality, as far as I'm concerned, that's wrong.
Yeah.
But the same way that we are allowing you here to have the space to tell your truth, remember, I'm a man too, so I will tell you my opinion on what I think could have done better, or whatever the case is. I'm not judging you. You doing your own thing in your head. You know right now that you saying, hey, back then, I might have been a little immature. I won't go call it that, but at the end of the day, I know it was wrong, you know. But in my heart, I didn't feel any way about it because I was betrayed. And that type of betrayal deserves something. I could understand. I don't have to agree with you, but I could understand. And that's what the show is all about. So, you came here for something. Let me get that there. All right.
That's your going on with life, you know, right?
In my hand, I hold the results for Mr. Amigo and his little baby boy.
Hey, where'd you want, boy?
Okay. So because of your son not being registered, they didn't put his name. What is your son's name?
Zaydan.
Zaydan?
Yeah.
Zaydan. So, in the case of Mr. Amigo and Zaydan, Mr. Amigo, according to this, you are not Zaydan's father.
Right, I can live with that.
Sorry to hear that. Sorry, I'm very, very sorry about that. How do you feel about that?
to be honest, boy, I ain't feeling good and I ain't feeling bad because how to explain that, boy? I was feeling that kind of guilt when she keep calling and like, hey, like certain times, you know, certain things happen and she would be like, you're not doing nothing for your child. Yeah. So I was feeling kind of guilty, and that's why when I did come across the program, I was saying, boy, go and just find out that, so you know, you could either go all out or how you gonna be like holding back things from your child. And I spend real plenty cash for the shoot already, so it's not something I'm feeling bad about. But at the end of the day, I take a real big guilt trip too, boy. But I really appreciate this, boy. God is real good, boy.
All the time.
This night, I'm not feeling bad for this. So the good thing with this now is this girl can't guilt trip me with this, boy. And as a youth I really love, but like as a youth I can't see again and thing. That's why you have to go to in your mind and things. So when you asked earlier on about when you asked earlier on about the children seeing this child and thing, yeah, I never used to send them to see him or carry him around them because I like to be certain with real plenty things, and like how this is a certain thing, yeah, that's not a problem. So like the first time I talked to her, and I was like, hey, you need to like get your name on the child who have a good paper.
Right.
Yeah, all that thing I was holding back from because I just signed them little clunk thing, girl running in court, and you know, automatically you just they paying a certain money, and because you just become the legal father. So it wasn't really worklessness, but I like to be certain with certain things. So at the end of the day, to be honest with you, I love the youth and thing. But he's not a youth. The kind of person he's not a youth I need to see again then.
The last one, I can't say it's unfortunate, but it is unfortunate because you do come across as a loving father or father figure. You already said that had he been yours, you would have been 100, or he wouldn't want for nothing or anything. There isn't much I can say. I am hurting for you like if it was mine, because I did not know anything. We only got the results a few days ago, and I didn't even take a look at it.
I don't think how to explain this, boy. Watch man, I really appreciate all the show, boy. Because I was feeling real guilty. Like certain things with the girl was like you used to be telling me now, boy.
Well,
but my vehicle was stolen now.
Right.
So I was fighting up, and about 3 weeks, this will be the second week I didn't drop no money for sure or anything, because normally every week I was still getting like a 500 now. So
every week?
Yeah. And I'm feeling hard sometimes, I'm just going down. So 2 weeks I had to take out insurance because I can't remember who I talked about. I told them, but I had the inspection sticker and thing.
Right.
So I didn't think that I didn't want to come quite for this win.
Right.
So I didn't get she money 2 weeks. And just tonight I was telling she wanted to come down with me. So I ended up picking up Shorty and coming down there now. And she was saying, boy, you calling me for bullshit and you don't want to see what your child and you understand? And real plenty of that time in the girl let me nothing about your son. And I give this but if you know, like you know, say I feeling so bad for you, I telling you, I thank God for the result because I could save real money by my clothes and clung and thing.
So do me a favor now. I appreciate what you said before, and on the last episode I asked you to talk to the camera. I want you to do two things for me.
What was it, two things?
I want you to talk, don't call her name. I want you to talk to her now, say what you want to say, and then I want you to talk to the camera and I want you to tell the public what this means to you and encourage your fellow men to come on Daddies maybe. Let's see if we can assist them. Talk to the people now.
If I talking to the shorty first?
Yeah, don't call her name.
No, I don't know where I can call this girl name. But she, in she spirit, I sure she knows she dead to me right now. The child and all that to me. Right? And as for the public, especially all the men who people tell them, well, you have your nose and your eyelash and your foot and them kind of clung thing. See how I can handle the scene and I get the thing straight. sit down with some money, you could do things better for yourself, but because you have what going on. I go in and take a flashover, and that will come faster than, you know. But in a sense, if the youth was mine, it would have slowed down the process, and I would now watch it as a slow process because I would have deal with my youth as my youth. Because my youth on them home right now, they have all the booklets and everything. I just had to buy 2 kicks for them. They had the bags, all the uniforms. So I just had to organize and get 2 kicks for them. So this youth now, it was a worry thing, as in boy, you're neglecting this child all the time. You just give him a 500 and fight it up every week. And how that happened, you know? Jesus Christ. I tell you, it's not one of these sad man. I tell you that.
So, we've just... This I'm going to lie to you, Trinidad and Tobago. This is real Smithy here, but I'm feeling it a little bit for Mr. Amigo, because I could see myself in him, you know. This one really did hurt, and we here on Jiggles Entertainment, on Daddy's Maybe, and in HODP, we have to detox ourselves as well when you see we're dealing with certain situations. These are not easy things or situations to come by and to relive, because we have to be reliving this over and over. When it is we have to edit, speak to these people, we have to be reliving it over and over. So this is taking a lot out of us as well. All I want to say to Mr. Amigo is that you've done well. You've faced so many different adversities, so many different trials, and came out on the positive end. You didn't take it to the negative. You didn't do what most people would assume certain types of men to do. And we appreciate that, not only on Daddy's Maybe, but as a society, because we don't need any more men behind bars, and we don't need any more men who are not quote-unquote paying maintenance to go inside. So, having said that, I want to thank everybody, Roberto, Shay, Turner, everybody who's responsible in HODP, Miss Aisha Wells, Miss Natasha, everyone, my teachers from Costa, Miss Mitchell, I want to thank you so very much for all the words of encouragement. We thank everybody. Having said that, the only thing you can change in your life is your attitude towards the things that happen to you, guys. And if you want to change your future, change your attitude towards your present. It's your boy Smithy. Peace.
Every Thursday, 8 p.m., catch Daddy's Maybe on the HODP network featuring Smitty and Joshua Alexander. You don't want to miss it, to miss it, to miss it, to miss it, to miss it.